and medical care. Social Security recipients will be getting fatter checks to pay for some of those price hikes. The government's just announced an 8.7% increase in benefits starting next year. That's the biggest hike in 40 years to match the fastest inflation rate in the U.S. in 4 decades. Average checks will go up by more than $140 a month. Police in Connecticut say 2 officers were killed today. So was a gunman in a reported ambush. Bristol police of them had a growing family.
He is survived by his wife, Laura, and his children, Phoebe and Porter, and one on the way.
He says another officer was shot and wounded. The Hartford Courant is reporting police had responded to reports of a fight at a local bar. Shots reportedly rang out when they drove a mile to a home nearby looking for a suspect. Congressional investigators hold what's expected to be their final public hearing in the January 6th attack. Correspondent Scott McFarland has details from Capitol Hill.
Committee Vice Chair Liz Cheney says the Secret Service has provided hundreds of thousands of pages of communication after the agency revealed requests had been deleted. The panel says it will also focus on Trump's state of mind ahead of and during the attack and will show what they call his centrality in the scheme to overturn the election.
Congressional investigators hold what's expected to be their, Vladimir Zelensky's office says Russian forces used Iranian-made kamikaze drones to attack areas of Kyiv and Odessa in a 4th straight day of attacks. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg.
We will step up our support, and in particular, we will provide more air defense systems to Ukraine.
Tourists' welcome signs are going up in Taiwan for the first time since the pandemic began. CBS's
Taiwan's nearly 3-year-long border closure is credited with saving lives. But with its neighbors Hong Kong and Japan resuming cross-border travel, the government was under pressure to follow suit.
Dow futures down 430. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Are you in the market for a new home, but saving enough for a down payment is holding you back? Members First Credit Union is offering a budget requires no down payment. No money down means you have the flexibility to buy a home without cash and finance up to 100% of the purchase price. To learn more about a no money down mortgage from Members First Credit Union, visit mfcu.net. All loans subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity lender.
Tudor Dixon, a working mom on a mission to grow our economy and strengthen Michigan's agriculture industry. As governor, Tudor Dixon will stand up for small businesses so they can create good jobs for us. That starts with protecting family farms, because Dixon understands the value of keeping small business. Tudor Dixon knows that farmers' careful stewardship of the environment has made our state a worldwide leader in food production, which is why she will work in partnership with Michigan's agriculture industry to oppose overreaching bureaucratic regulations that cut off economic growth at the roots. And Dixon will fight inflation by opposing out-of-control government spending and taxes, making life more affordable for farmers and families that depend on them. As governor, Tudor Dixon will make economic growth job one. Whether you vote absentee or in person on November 8th, vote Tudor Dixon for governor. Paid for with regulated funds by Farm PAC, the Independent Expenditure Committee, not authorized by any candidate.
At Consumers Energy, we're harnessing the power of the sun to create a cleaner energy future for Michigan. By 2040, solar energy will provide most of the electricity we deliver to our customers. That's good for the planet and your pocketbook. But we can't get there without your help. We're searching for large parcels of land in Michigan to build solar power plants. If you have a site for us to consider, visit consumersenergy.com/misolar to learn more.
WSGW News Time, 9:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. No one was hurt in a house fire in Swan Creek this morning. The fire occurred in the 2300 block of South Graham Road. Firefighters from the Tri-Township Fire and Chesaning Fire Departments responded to the scene around 12:10. Consumers Energy crews also responded due to which officials say was not the cause of the fire. That remains under investigation. The house was a total loss and had to be torn down. Saginaw man claiming to defend his home and property has been charged with assault or will be charged with assault for attacking a Saginaw city councilman. On August 29th, Councilman Michael Flores took a shortcut across the yard of Diana Gaines and Walt Curley while walking to his home on Mason Street. After an exchange where Curley told Flores to leave the property, Flores allegedly tried entering Curley's home when Curley reportedly hit him, then retrieved a baseball bat and allegedly hit him again in the leg after another exchange. Curley was arrested, but no charges were filed initially before the Saginaw County Prosecutor's Office had time to review the case. Charges have yet to be filed formally in an arraignment. The prosecutor's office has released a statement saying while violence is not the way to resolve conflict, it also is not pleased with Flores' either. A teenager is headed to juvenile detention after pleading guilty in a crash which killed a Flint police officer. Police Captain Colin Burney was killed in the crash on Elms Road near Mount Morris, February 4th. The teen was initially charged with manslaughter, but pleaded guilty to a reckless driving causing death charge. He was sentenced for an undisclosed amount of time. The Genesee County Prosecutor's Office has not released details of the sentence due to the teen's age. Burney was a 26-year veteran of the Flint Police Department. WSGW News Time 9:07.
The time has come to ask Attorney Jerry Reif another question or two. First of all, a power of attorney. Is that enough for my estate?
Having a power of attorney or a will is all the estate planning they need. While these two legal documents are important, they may not be enough for an effective estate plan.
Why is that, Jerry?
Well, let's look at what each of these documents actually do.
Okay.
A will is a letter to the probate court identifying who gets your personal and financial belongings, which is important after you pass away. A legal or financial power of attorney grants authority to someone else to make these decisions for you while you're alive.
Why isn't that enough then?
Well, first, it's essential to also have a medical directive, which grants authority to a person you trust to make healthcare decisions on your behalf when you can't. Second, a will may not be sufficient to protect all your assets. Third, depending on each individual situation, you may need all of the above plus one or more trusts or limited liability companies.
Thanks, Jerry. If you want more information, register for an upcoming workshop. Visit jerryreiflawyer.com or call 989-790-1461 today.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather. The Faculty Senate at Michigan State University has overwhelmingly approved a vote of no confidence in the Board of Trustees. That vote comes after Faculty Senate leaders sent a letter to the board last week demanding it to stop interfering with the academic management of the university. The letter also referenced the forced resignation of Business School Dean Sanjay Gupta following Title IX concerns. Last month, some trustees attempted to remove President Samuel Stanley due to his handling of Title IX reports, including Gupta's. Even though the no confidence vote passed overwhelmingly, the Faculty Senate has no role in appointing trustees. The number of out-of-state abortions in Michigan has shot up since the overturning of Roe v. Wade over the summer by the U.S. Supreme Court. That's according to Paula Thornton Greer, president and CEO of Planned Parenthood of Michigan.
You know, as you see states across the country enact these draconian abortion bans, the one thing that we know is don't stop people from having abortion. It only means that they need to seek essential health care in some place that is not their own backyard, which is tragic, quite frankly.
Greer says the number of people coming to Michigan has doubled and sometimes even tripled in some weeks. Michigan's 1931 ban on abortions has been nullified by an injunction placed on it by a judge last month. Michigan voters will decide in next month's election whether or not to enshrine abortion rights in the state constitution by approving or denying Proposal 3. Just as Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Republican challenger Tudor Dixon are about to have their first debate tonight, a new Epic MRA poll shows Whitmer has an 11 percentage point lead over Dixon. A poll in mid-September had Whitmer leading Dixon by 16 points. The poll also shows Attorney General Dana Nessel and Republican challenger Matt DePerno in a statistical dead heat, with 43% for Nessel and 39% for DePerno. WSGW Newsroom 10, I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Partial sunshine is possible at times today. Also, a few showers are possible in the area, mainly during the afternoon. Highs will top out near 56 degrees. Winds west-southwesterly 5 to 15 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Lows drop to 38. Winds remain west-southwest 5 to 15. Friday, partial sunshine again possible at times. Highs make it into the lower 50s. Friday night, mainly cloudy, chance for showers developing or building into the area after midnight. Lows fall back to 40, and then any showers in early on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now it's 46.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Lots happening today. Later on, we're going to talk about your furry friends and the Great Lakes Bay Animal Society with Nicole Meyer. That'll be after the 10 o'clock news this morning. After that, we'll have open phones, and we will have open phones right through Focus because we have no Focus guest today. But for this first hour, we're going to spend some time talking about the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society and also a guest that they're going to be hosting, and they are both on the line with us this morning. First of all, from the Society, we say good morning to Don Morin. Don, good morning.
Good morning, Art, and Don Comptus is also with me here.
Oh, is Don with you? Okay. All right, great. And also with us this morning, she is a Sulaks videographer of note, and she's going to be appearing at an event. And we say good morning to Andrea Guerrero. Good morning, Andrea.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you're very welcome. Thanks for being with us this morning. All right, to the two Dons, let's start out with an overview of the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society. Tell us about the society and what it does.
Well, the society formed about 33 years ago to preserve and collect the maritime history of the Saginaw River and its connecting waterways. Since then, we've been just really going along and preserving the have like the meeting we'll be talking about. We've been having those for 33 years. We have a newsletter that comes out quarterly, and it is considered one of the best hometown maritime newsletters on the lakes today. We're real proud of that. And we have we're working with the Lighthouse with the Dow Chemical Company on the preservation of the Saginaw River Rear Range Lighthouse, and that is really moving along great. So we're just a kind of a laid-back, fun organization educating the people on the history of the Greater Bay Area.
And you mentioned meetings. When do you meet?
We meet the third Saturday of each month. November will be our last meeting, and then we don't do anything in December, but we start again. Again, that's the third Saturday. The program starts at 6:30, and it's taking place at Trinity Episcopal Church on Center in Grant Street in Bay City.
Now, this Saturday, October 15th, Andrea is going to be the guest. So, Andrea, let me ask, how does a real estate agent get herself involved in videography and the world of ships?
That's an excellent question. And the funny thing is, I think I was strangely involved in ships prior to even becoming a realtor, only because I didn't live in the Sioux for 20 years. I was born and raised here, but there was a time when I moved away to Southern Ontario, and it wasn't until I moved back that I really got involved in the ships. And at that time, I actually had an interior design business, and I fell in love with the ships while being here. Came back here because they were both 80 years old at the time, and we have a house on the river here in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. And within a couple of weeks of being here, they suggested a trip to Duluth, Minnesota, to meet my brother, who had to go there for another reason. So we met him, and while there, we hopped on one of their harbor cruises and wound up right next to the Paul R. Tregurtha. And that was just mind-blowing for me. I had seen ships my whole life growing up, but them until I was put in a position where I was right beside one. And then we came back home to Sault Ste. Marie, and a few days later, there it was again going through the locks as we were going over our international bridge. So we stopped and pulled over and photography of just that vessel. And a year later, I had compiled enough photos to put a calendar together, and I made a number of copies and found out how to get it shipped aboard the vessel. So I did that with a letter to the captain, and not too long after that, I just kind of fell in love with the industry. And while that happened, I did a career change and took all the courses to become a real estate agent. And those two things have become my focus, and interior design just kind of fell off the map after that.
Yeah, unlike another friend of mine, Rick Mixter, who does a lot of diving on shipwrecks, yours is all surface. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I do a lot of photography and videography when I can. Although the one thing I don't do is drone work. I leave that to the professionals that are doing that. I focus everything myself.
How often do you do it? I mean, you know, and how big a library have you compiled?
I try to do it every day.
Oh, really?
Being a realtor, being a realtor allows me a lot of independence and a lot of ability to be able to, in between showings, if there is a ship here, because I happen to live in Sault Ste. Marie, I'm in a position where it's very busy. So there's constantly, just 5 minutes before I even came on the air with you, a ship went by. So I have an opportunity even from home, or if I'm downtown, I can scoot down to the waterfront in a few minutes. And 20 minutes away, we have an area that's beautiful. 45 minutes south, there's an area on the St. Mary's River that I can shoot. So I can sort of go in and out of appointments. I have the ability to take vacation time whenever I feel like it, because it's not, it's an independent career. You're not doing something where you have to be a 9-to-5 job. So I've compiled those. I could probably say 1,000 photos in the 7 years that I've been doing this. And I can say that only because I have a record of everything on my computer, and I've already almost lost it once.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it backed up?
Yes. Yeah, it was. And thankfully, the computer crashed, and I had everything obviously on the memory cards, but they were able to pull it back. And I saw at that point how many photos were logged in there. But I did a trip on a ship once, and in just 7 days, I took 5,000 photos. So
it's not hard to do.
I have a tendency to overshoot sometimes.
Yeah, but you know what? As long as you get one out of it, that's the prize. That's what counts. I shoot the same way. I have my camera sitting right behind me here in my office, and I shoot that same way. I go out and just shoot and shoot and shoot, and if I get one or two that stand out, I'm thrilled.
The same, and I'm still green in the photography industry as far as I'm concerned. I mean, as far as Great Lakes shipping goes, there are so many people out there who have been shooting for decades, and I've only been doing this for 7 years. So I think there's a lot that I have to learn, both about Great Lakes shipping still and photography. So when I shoot in excess to ensure that if I've messed up somewhere, which happens frequently, that, as you say, if one or two come out of it, then that's a good thing for me. And it helps teach me what to do and how to use my camera better. So it's kind of like an adventure every time I try to set out and do some shots of something.
We're talking to Andrea Guerrero. She is a Sulaks videographer, going to be in town for the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society this Saturday. We'll tell you more about that. Don Morin and Don Comptos with us from the Society. We're going to take a break, and then we will be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show.
Had your family's eyes checked lately? Most insurance, if you don't use it, you lose it. Now's the time to get that annual exam you've been putting off. Children's eyes check can help treat possible issues with schoolwork and prevent other eye-related diseases. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kazmarek, or Dr. Engel at their Saginaw or Hemlock locations, call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
It's time to play the WSGW Football Bucks Blitz contest presented by Ben and Roofmax. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $2,000 by entering this football word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is plan. Plan. What is your plan of attack on the football field? It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. The Football Buck Splits contest presented by Ben and Roof Max on WSGW.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural. Made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
The new Google Pixel 7 Pro is super, especially when it's on Verizon, the network America relies on. It's supercharged, super powered, and a super deal. You know it. Now, switch to Verizon and get the Google Pixel 7 Pro on us with select trade-ins and select 5G unlimited plans.
That really is super.
Yep. There's never been a better time to switch to Verizon. $899.99 device payment purchase with new smartphone line on select $200 Verizon e-gift card with ported. Less $700 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions and additional terms apply.
Guys, are you getting up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? As we get older, so do our prostates, and that can mean urinary problems that affect our sleep and quality of life. Life is better outside the bathroom. Real Health's Prostate Complete can help you relieve those annoying and painful prostate symptoms. Available at Walmart or visit realhealth.com for more information and to order yours today. Try it risk-free with our 120-day money-back guarantee. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures plunged after another reminder that there wasn't much improvement in inflation last month. The consumer price index was up 0.4%, and in the month ending in September rose 8.2%. Excluding food and energy, the core CPI rose 6.6%. All the readings indicate hotter inflation than expected by economists. Consumer prices jumped in June, up more than 9%. Since then, prices have moderated slightly, though a year-over-year increase of more than 8% is unlikely to cause the Federal Reserve to pull interest rate increases to fight inflation. Also, the number of people filing for unemployment benefits for the first time rose by 9,000 last week to 228,000. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Businesses don't run on automation or algorithms alone. What powers businesses are your people and the people they serve. At Cintas, your dedicated service reps understand what you need to help you keep your employees feeling safe, comfortable, and performing their best. So your business can too. Cleaning products, first aid and safety supplies, and fire protection services, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3330. Registry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333, or visit starregistry.com for the hottest gift.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for the start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you'll ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the Inside Passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. For a brochure, send your address to me and I will forward the brochure to you. Send to artlew.com. That's ARTLEWIS at WSGW.com. Alaska is calling.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, I guess we'll try to make sense of it all. That is a very, very difficult job. We will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Art Lewis Show, talking about the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society. Don Morin and Don Comptis, and also with us this morning, Andrea Guerrero, who's going to be in town. She is a videographer and photographer of Great Lakes ships. Don Comptis, let me ask about this meeting and the wheres and whens and all that, and who's invited.
Okay, the meeting is coming Saturday, the 15th, at Episcopal Church Center in Grant Straits in Bay City on the east side. The meetings are free, and the ladies also make wonderful snacks to have, and it's just a great time. Meet a lot of great people with similar interests, and everyone just seems to enjoy themselves in the company of the people they sit with.
And what time is the meeting?
It is 6:30.
6:30. So, Andrea, what do you do at this kind of a presentation? What will you be doing?
Typically, I just introduce myself, give a little bit of a biography background so people understand how I got started, what I do, what I love about the industry, the opportunities that it's afforded me over the last 7 years. And in this case, I'll be presenting some photos and videos from a recent trip I took aboard the Herbert C. Jackson. I was able to hop on there here in Sault Ste. Marie at the locks and go with them over to Marquette, Michigan, where they loaded some ore and then came back and got off at the locks again. And I did a lot of photos and videos there, so I'll talk about that. I always open it up to questions. I find that people have a lot of questions about the industry, so I try to answer them as best as I can and just talk to them about the different things involved in Great Lakes shipping and how wonderful it is, and give some more background about things coming up with me and what's happening in the future.
Let me ask either the Dons or Andrea, for that matter, as you look at the Great Lakes, and you guys, study the ships, you study the lakes, what's the health of Great Lakes shipping? Is it healthy? Is it a healthy industry right now?
Yes,
I think it's
reasonable. The ships are larger, so there aren't as many, but there's still a lot of product being shipped. Andrea can maybe further add to that.
I think it's slowed down a little bit. At the time when shipping was the busiest, I wasn't even shooting yet. And from what I understand, there used to be hundreds of vessels that would go through here. And things have changed a little bit where that is concerned. And of course, COVID in the last couple of years affected things as well. But as Don says, there are still a lot of commodities. I think what people don't realize is the importance of Great Lakes shipping to both Canadian and the U.S. economies, because these vessels carry so many different commodities that include things like iron ore, which is the most popular, and that, of course, is involved in the steelmaking process, but stone, cement powder, grains, soybeans, blast furnace trim, all these different things that are involved in different processes to involved in making product or construction or making food, anything like that. And I think as individuals, we take for granted how important all of that is to us. So it will always be here. And hopefully things get even busier as time moves along. As Don mentioned, a lot of the ships are bigger, so we see less of them because their capacity is greater. I just hope it doesn't slow down to a point where we don't see very many at all, because that means I don't have as much to shoot, and then I would be upset.
What's life like on one of those ships? You've had the occasion to actually travel on them. So what's life like?
It's a very different experience. Obviously, I experienced it from strictly a bystander's standpoint. So I loved it because I had an opportunity to see, understand, and learn what's involved in being a part of this industry. And the thing that amazes me is how a group of, if we're talking about 1,000-foot vessel, I've had a chance to travel on one of those as well. There are probably somewhere between 20 and 25 individuals on a 1,000-foot vessel. And to put that in perspective, a 1,000-foot vessel is the length of 3 NFL football fields laid end to end. So to have only 20 to 25 people manage an entire system that goes from loading product to carrying that product through the lakes and river systems down to another port and offloading it, there is a lot that's involved that we don't understand. And they do it so seamlessly and so simply, or at least how it looks simple to us, that it's absolutely amazing. But I think what we lose in all of that, because, because we are so fascinated by it and interested in it, these men and women sacrifice a lot to be on the lakes. They give up time with their families. They are out there for weeks or months at a time. And yet when they are on these vessels, they're like family together as well. They are a really tight-knit group. They work really well together. They know that they are all missing special occasions and certain things that they wish they could be home for, but they also realize the importance of their job.
Yeah.
And so they do it to the best of their ability all the time, and it allows us a chance to live the life that we do every day as a result of that.
Aside from the master of the ship, the captain, I've always thought the most important person on the ship is the cook. How good is the food?
It's exceptional, and I think that's correct. And it is very important for the galley cook to be really good. And in the larger ships, they have a second cook as well. Having great food keeps a crew's morale up. It keeps them in a positive frame of mind. They often are working. They will normally work in a four-hour watch segment, and then they'll have time off and they go back for another 4-hour watch. But if you're a mate or if you're a deckhand, and sometimes even an engineer, when you're through locks, that 4 hours can turn into 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 or even more. So you're putting in a lot of time, and it can be very, very exhausting mentally and physically. And to at least have that to bring your physical energy up and remind you, okay, this is all a part of what they get paid for. So all their meals are included. And of course, the accommodation on the vessel, they all have their own private rooms and private bathrooms and things like that. So they try to make it as comfortable as possible to keep them in as good a frame of mind as possible, because what they're doing can be very difficult. And especially at this time of year, we're getting wind and cold and rain and all the rest of it. And deckhands are outside, and even wheelsmen helping out, and mates, they're standing in that for hours at a time. It boggles my mind. I don't know how they do it sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. Don's, either of you ever travel on the ships?
No, I've never been on a Great Lakes freighter. One of the weird things is I get terribly seasick, but I'm in an organization.
Yeah, that is funny.
Had, some of the ships in port, and especially the museum ship up at thing that you don't have to worry about being seasick to be able to
solid ground. Huh? It is something I've always wanted to do. I've ridden on the Mackinac when the Mackinac was the icebreaker on the Great Lakes. I had the pleasure of riding on it when it broke ice on the St. Mary's, but I've never been on a freighter. Always wanted to do that. Always thought that'd be a pretty cool thing to do. Well, hang on, guys. We're going to take a break, come back, and we are chatting with Andrea Guerrero, Sulak's videographer, going to be in town in Bay City this Saturday. We'll tell you more about it. Don Morin and Don Cantos from the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society. We'll tell you more about that, too. When we return here on WSGW, I want to talk about your pet right now, because we know you love your pet. Well, guess what? Subaru loves your pet, too. And it happens to be Subaru Loves Pets Month at Thalen Subaru, 4211 North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Now, all this month, Thalen is contributing $100 to a local shelter for every new Subaru sold in October. That includes the Subaru Legacy Touring XT, like the one I'm driving this month, and I love this car. In addition, they will hold a Subaru Loves Pets special event Saturday, October 22nd. Pets will be available for adoption at the dealership from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You could give a fur baby its forever home. The Subaru professionals at Thalen suggest you stop in and order the Subaru of your dreams or see what Thalen has on its way. Subaru features SUVs like the Crosstrek, Forester, Outback, and Ascent. Cars including the Impreza and Legacy. And of course, if performance is your cup of tea, look at the BRZ and WRX. You can find more information online at thinkthalen.com. Mark your calendar for October 22nd and the Subaru Loves Pets event at Thalen Subaru. Thalen, serving your automotive needs for 45 years.
Roll them bones and win up to $1,000 cash. Fridays in October, come out to Saginaw Eagles Landing for scary good prizes and thrilling fun. Drawings are every hour from 12 to 8 p.m. for a chance to roll them bones and win big. Let the prizes roll in this October at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
You tired?
I order takeout, use my card. And most of us, just credit cards charge is a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR, but with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.73% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval rates. Or to 19.99% APR and included 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always ask. You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSW online poll is about statewide ballot proposal 1, with election day coming Tuesday, November 8th. So statewide proposal 1 basically requiring the office holders to file the annual financial disclosures, plus replace state reps and senators with a 12-year total in any combination between House and Senate. The proposal will officially read this way on your ballot. A proposal to amend the state constitution to require annual public financial disclosure reports by legislators and other state officers, and change state legislator term limit to 12-year total years in legislature. The poll question: should proposal 1 be adopted? Yes or no? Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box.
Michigan is rated as one of the worst in terms of financial disclosures.
Yeah. Somebody wanted radio people to be included in that, but they left it out. So.
Oh, thank you.
That's because we have no finances to disclose.
The morning team, weekday 9 on WSGW. Broadcasting from the Premier Kitchen and Bath Design Center Studios. This is WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Andrea Guerrero. She is a videographer and photographer of Great Lakes vessels. And from the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society, Don Morin and Don Comptos. Dons, let me ask you guys about membership in the society. Is it a membership organization, and how does somebody join?
We $15, and you get 4 quarterly newsletters. But to attend any of our events are all free. We try to say we put on the best free show in town.
Does the Historical Society have artifacts and a museum?
Oh, we've got artifacts coming out our ears. We have a small craft, personal pleasure craft. One of them is in our new location for retail store. Is near the center court of the Bay City Town Center, 2,400. And we have a tremendous amount of exhibits in there and artifacts. And the centerpiece of that exhibit is the 1913 default motor launch. It's an 18-footer that we acquired and then had restored. That is the oldest surviving vessel built on the Saginaw River, 1913. There's other older vessels, but they're underwater somewhere.
And when is the museum open?
We're open on weekends and by request. There's a placard in the window, so if someone on an odd time, they're free to call that number. I only live a half a mile away, and I usually manage to accommodate people on an as-need basis, or call one of the other members, we're real accommodating in that regard.
So, Andrea, let me ask you, you spent so much time photographing the ships and following these ships around the Great Lakes. Is that how you spend your vacations too?
It is. Every single last one of them, believe it or not. You'll find a lot of people will do stuff like going to Jamaica. And for me, a vacation is heading to Duluth, Minnesota to watch the ships, or going down to Port Huron. And I even work it around work trips. In September, we had our national sales meeting in Winnipeg. And our office manager and I, who was my boss, the two of us decided to drive rather than fly. So we did the trip. It's a 16-hour drive from here, and we made a pit stop in Thunder Bay, and there's a port there. So she likes the ships as well. And we stayed in a hotel right on the water, and I was able to get some shots in Thunder Bay. And then on the way home, I decided to take the American route, and we crossed into Minnesota, and we went and stayed overnight in Superior, Wisconsin. And I got some shots in Duluth and Superior, and we drove to Two Harbors and got some shots there. So any opportunity that I have to be able to hit the road and go do these things, I do it every chance that I can.
Any interest?
That opportunity will come up again.
Any interest in ocean-going vessels?
I do have. Obviously, being on the Great Lakes, my knowledge of ocean-going vessels is limited, but the exact same situation came up in 2018 before COVID. Our previous national Fax, Nova Scotia. So that took us out there, and I purposely went 4 days early so that I could experience the harbor there. It's a huge harbor in Halifax, and it's nothing but ocean-going vessels. So I had an opportunity to see types of ships that we just don't see here.
Yeah.
And it was really, really interesting.
That's
tremendously to be able to experience that. It's a totally different animal than it is on the Great Lakes.
That's one of my favorite cities. I had the occasion with my camera to go to the Panama Canal. We've gone through it a couple of times on cruise ships, but we took a tour of the canal property and got to stand, down on the areas where the ships go right by and where the mules are, those engines. And I'll tell you what, that's something you need to do. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it really is an experience.
It's doing, I say, when you have an opportunity and you get a chance to do it, it's a once in a lifetime thing. And I sit here in Sault Ste. Marie. I sit on the Soo Locks Visitors Center Association board, and one of the board members is from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So this past winter, I had a similar opportunity here at the locks. Every off season, the locks are dewatered,
right,
and maintenance work is done on them. So she gave me the opportunity to go with her and stand on the floor of the lock.
Mm-hmm.
So I wound up in our pole lock, which is 1,200 feet long and 110 feet wide, and I was standing on the floor of it. And it's just to know. It's just mind-blowing when you're in there. And we went into the valves where the water all flows through during the season. So it's such a unique perspective, and those kinds of opportunities when they come up are the ones that you jump on every chance you get.
Yep. All right, folks, hang on. We'll do one more segment as we talk about Saginaw River Marine Historical Society and a visit this weekend by Andrea Guerrero and her photographs and videos of the Great Lakes ships. We'll be back.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County Road Commissioner. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know work always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. I'm a proud union member, business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do a job. Vote Hilliker. Paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
This segment of Our Community's Care is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation. For the month of October, Saginaw Community Foundation proudly spotlights Child and Family Services of Saginaw. 150 years ago, Child and Family Services was born through the efforts of a group of strong women with a passion for the needs of their community. Founders were committed to improving the quality of life for women and children by providing needed shelter, food, and clothing. Since that day, the services of the agency have changed to continually meet the needs of those who live or work in the Great Lakes Bay region. Child and Family Services provides the most complete counseling, wellness, and crisis services in the region. From supportive counseling to corporate wellness and sexual assault recovery, the clinical team, combined with the area's leading psychiatrist, takes a holistic approach for individual, families, and area businesses. To learn more about Child and Family Services and to donate, visit childandfamilysaginaw.org.
Moments like on mean a lot to me, but after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
Aw, honey, I can't believe you gave me toe fungus.
I gave my wife toe fungus for the third time. My doctor then told me that toe fungus is not just a cosmetic problem and that it can spread and get worse. He introduced me to a new and different routine that flushes out even the most difficult cases of fungus. It's called Crystal Flush. Call now, and for a limited time, you can try Crystal Flush risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-675-9431. That's 800-675-9431.
Looking, he fires it up. He's got a receiver down. Touchdown! Touchdown, Saginaw Valley!
The SVSU Cardinals lost a close one, the top-ranked Bear State, but they'll try to get back in the win column for homecoming this Saturday afternoon when they battle Indianapolis at 1:30 on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. SVSU football is brought to you by Westside Decorating Center, Jag and Nathan Neurosurgery, A-Plus Plumbing, Forward Energy, Mercantile Bank, and United Financial Credit Union.
All season long, the Cardinals fly on WSGW.
Back with you as we talk about the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society with our guests, Andrea Guerrero, a Sulaks videographer, and from the Society, Don Morin and Don Comptos. Guys, let me ask you about your memorial service, because don't you have the memorial service coming up?
Thank you very much for asking that question. That'll be this Saturday at 4 o'clock at Waterfall Park at the foot of 3rd Street, 3rd and Water, at 4 o'clock. Don, you want to fill in the rest of the history of that event? We decided years ago that served on the Great Lakes out of the Saginaw Valley, and that includes women also, because a number of them were cooks, that they're forgotten. Nobody remembers them. They have memorial services all over. But what we've done is we have centered in on the Saginaw Valley or the Greater Bay Area, honoring those women that died in shipwrecks or accidents on the Great Lakes. And we found out that we are the only organization that does this for a specific area. Got about 45 people that have served the lakes and have died in shipwrecks. So it's very interesting. What we do is we name the person, and we name the vessel that they were on, and the year and date that it sunk. And at the end of, and we actually have a shipwreck bell that we use to ring after each person's name. And at the end of the service, we throw a wreath into the Saginaw River. Like I said, we're the only place that we know of that does this.
And the where's and when's again and time?
It'll be this Saturday, 4 o'clock at Waterfall Park in Bay City. It is the actually St. Laurent Brothers.
Right.
Everybody knows where St. Laurent is. It's right there. And we put the name of the person in that, and we just honor them that way because they deserve it, because they're lost in history.
Mm-hmm.
And also the rest of our activities throughout the year are covered on Facebook, and we have communication with Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Just look up Saginaw River Marine. Our Facebook page not only has our current events, but other maritime-related current events that are going on the Great Lakes and shared photographs.
Andrea, how about you? Do you have a website or online presence?
I do. I have a Facebook page, which is my largest following. I also have an Instagram account. I have a YouTube channel. And my website is almost complete. It should be going live probably in the beginning of November.
Going to have a lot of your photos up on the website?
Well, they will be on the website. The website will also deal with using those photos, but the photos and video on YouTube with the video side, and Facebook has both photos, videos, interviews I've done, lots of different things. It's a huge compilation of things that I've been doing in the last 7 years.
All right. Well, we welcome you to the area this Saturday. Andrea will be down and doing a presentation for the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society. And you can find out more if you go online to the Saginaw River Marine Historical Society Facebook page. They'll have all the information there. To the two Dons, Morin and Comtus, thanks for being with us this morning, guys. We appreciate it. Always learn something.
Well, thank you always. You do a great job.
Appreciate it. Andrea, pleasure meeting you and talking to you this morning, too.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.
All right. Have a great day. I'm sure there's some ships going through the locks. You better hurry down.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Have a good day. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Talk to you all soon.
Take care.
We'll take our last break and come back and close out this hour of the Art Lewis Show.
As a farmer, growing your business is more than just a 9-to-5. It's your life's work. That's why the Roundup Ready Extend crop system stay on top, backed by decades of innovation, offering the latest trait technology and triple herbicide tolerance, plus more weed species controlled than any other soybean system. Because you mean business, and so do we. Learn more at systemofchoice.com. Claim based on approved EPA herbicide labels as of January 2021. Read and follow pesticide label directions, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
I think farming picked me. I didn't pick farming. I'm not afraid to try something new. It's my farm, my family, and our future. My channel Seedsman gets that. I get access to innovative products with personalized advice backed by data to maximize my yield potential. Know I'll prosper for years to come.
Define your future at channel.com/future. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices. Copyright 2022 Bayer Group. All rights reserved.
In these challenging economic times, we need a strategy to fix Michigan's economy. That's why Annette Glenn has a plan to improve the economic climate in the Saginaw Valley. Annette Glenn listened to our agriculture industry, small businesses, and families, and she created a plan that will help our communities recover and grow again, making life more everyone by opposing out-of-control big government spending to reduce inflation, cutting taxes to increase the buying power of farmers, families, and small businesses, and helping family farms stay in the family by reducing burdensome government regulations. Call Annette Glenn today at 517-373-1791. Thank Annette for working in the legislature to boost families, farmers, and other small businesses. By working together, we can make the Saginaw Valley a better place to raise a family and do business. Paid for by the Michigan Farm Bureau Family of Companies and Greenstone Farm Credit Services.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought. And I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Trying to find when and where you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football on WSGW? Just click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com for complete game time listings. That's WSGW.com.
All right, that's the first hour. We thank our guests for joining us. Next hour, we're going to start out talking about a fun event coming up for your furriest friends. It's called Fast and Furriest. We'll have Nicole Meyer with us, and we'll tell you more about that. But first, it's the news here on WSGW, and then we will be back to talk to you on the second hour.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
The Dow is down 299 points after plunging more than 500 on the heels of this morning's report on consumer prices. It shows inflation. Correspondent Wendy Gillette reports.
Consumer prices are up 8.2% compared to a year ago and rose nearly 0.5% last month. The Bureau of Labor Statistics also reports food prices are up more than 11% over the past year, and energy prices increased almost 20%. Bankrate.com's Mark Hamrick.
The Federal Reserve continues to see a bright green light with respect to future interest rate increases.
To help pay for those price hikes, Social Security recipients will be getting an 8.7% increase in their monthly benefits. That's the largest hike in 4 decades. Economist Pete Earle.
It's what we would expect, given that we have inflation at 40-year highs.
Will increase an average of more than $140. Breaking news from Florida. The jury deliberating the fate of the Parkland school shooter has reached a verdict on whether to recommend the death penalty, execution, for Nicholas Cruz. The decision is expected to be read in half an hour from now, and if it's not unanimous, Cruz will get life in prison. The jury began deliberating just yesterday. Neighbors near Hartford, Connecticut say it sounded like a war zone. Officials in Bristol say 2 police officers were shot to death. A third wounded, responding to a domestic violence call involving 2 siblings. Mayor Jeff Caggiano.
We're united in immeasurable grief for those hero officers and friends and for all of our law enforcement.
Police say the suspected gunman was shot and killed, his brother wounded. An investigation is underway. What's expected to be the final public hearing hosted by January 6th investigators gets underway in Washington in a few hours. Correspondent Scott McFarlane is on Capitol Hill.
This hearing will look and sound different. There'll be no live witnesses this time, and all 9 panel members will make part of this closing argument, with just weeks remaining for the committee to wrap up its work.
Hospitals across the country are reporting a spike in cases of a serious respiratory virus in children. It's called RSV. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder on what out for.
If the baby's not feeding as well, if the baby's irritable, and then there are certain respiratory signs that you would really worry about. So if they're gasping, if they're wheezing, if they're coughing so much they can't really get a good breath of air, I would really start to get worried at that point.
The Dow is down 281. This is CBS News.
You need to hire? Indeed is with you every step of the way, helping you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Do you have Medicare questions? Confused by all those TV ads? There are options available to you now through December 7th that you didn't have before. Medicare Choices of Saginaw will have your questions and Medicare seminar at the Freeland Sports Zone on Wednesday, October 12th or October 26th. Starting time is 11 a.m. with free refreshments. Reserve your space. Call 989-899-7820 today. Medicare Choices of Saginaw. Again, 989-899-7820. It'll be the best call you ever made.
Aw, honey, I can't believe you gave me toe fungus.
I gave my wife toe fungus for the 3rd time. My doctor then told me that toe fungus is not just a cosmetic problem and that it can spread and get worse. He introduced me to a new and different routine that flushes out even the most difficult cases of fungus. It's called Crystal Flush. Call now, and for a limited time, you can try Crystal Flush risk-free. 800-675-9431. That's 800-675-9431.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Mostly cloudy skies and 49 degrees at 10:04. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. A Genesee County judge who is retiring after being accused of sexual harassment is currently on the November ballot. Judge Joseph Farah is accused by former MSU law student and intern Grace Ketzner. The comments and actions while she worked for Farah, who filed a formal complaint with the university last September, as well as the state's Judicial Tenure Commission. An investigation found Farah violated Title IX policies regarding harassment. The court had removed Farah from his in-person docket after consulting with the State Court Administrative Office. Farah submitted his letter of retirement to Governor Gretchen Whitmer, which will take effect November 9th. However, Farah filed paperwork last March before the allegations to run for re-election. If he wins the election, the state will need to appoint a judge and serve in that position until the next election in 2024. Becky Mcdonald for state senate as a U.S. Taxpayer Party of Michigan candidate in the state's newly drawn 34th district, which encompasses Gladwin and Isabella counties, plus parts of Bay and Midland counties. The U.S. Taxpayer Party of Michigan is the state affiliate to the Constitution Party. McDonald says she's running in order to make a difference.
I feel that there's not enough forward movement in a number of areas, and I just got to the point where, well, if it's not going to happen through somebody else, it's going to happen through me.
McDonald says she believes more needs to be done for family. She is pro Second Amendment and opposes Proposal 3, which would make abortion legal in the state constitution. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has expanded the use of COVID-19 vaccine boosters for use in children from 5 to 11 years old amid concerns of an upcoming surge in cases of the Omicron variant this winter. The CDC announcement follows the updated COVID-19 vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna. The newer vaccines help protect against recent Omicron variants, which are more transmissible and immune resistant. Officials are urging parents to get kids boosted before a spike in illness. The Pfizer booster is available for children as young as 5 and the Moderna for children ages 6 to 17. State Representative Annette Glenn's legislation reaffirming the rights of parents in Michigan schools has been signed into state law. The law will require all public schools to prominently post a section of the state offices, school board meeting rooms, and other locations. The language reaffirming parental rights, which has been a part of state law for decades, will also be included in manuals and training materials provided to the Michigan Department of Education and State Board of Education employees. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
I'm talking again with attorney Jerry Wright about something that's very important to most folks. I've got my medical directives at the hospital. Is that sufficient?
Well, a popular medical directive lets you specify or do not want. It also allows you to give detailed instructions about donating organs and even who has control over your remains.
Well, it sounds like a medical directive can give a person complete control.
That's right. It will give instructions to someone you trust to make healthcare decisions for you when you are unable to do for yourself. Doctors are there to support your family, but they do not want to be burdened with those decisions either. They, like your loved ones, want to do what you want. That's why it's absolutely essential to be clear and specific about your wishes in your medical directive.
Anything else to remember, Jerry?
Some are not compliant with the health insurance HIPAA, H-I-P-A-A. So to protect yourself and your family, you must be sure that your medical directive clearly expresses your wishes. So be sure to supply your doctor or hospital with your own prepared documents.
Thanks, Jerry. If you want more information, register for an upcoming workshop. Visit jerrywrightLawyer.com or 989-790-1461 today.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. In Alcona County, the mother of a dead toddler and her boyfriend have been bound over on murder charges. At a court hearing, Adrienne Pavelka of Tecumseh and 31-year-old Aaron Trout of Glenny are charged in the murder of Pavelka's 2-year-old daughter, Jade McDonald. It was disclosed during the hearing she died of blunt force trauma to the head. The couple are each charged with first-degree murder and child abuse charges. They face up to life in prison if found guilty. Police in Detroit say their search for the body of a missing East Point teen has concluded. Michigan News Network's Brooke Allen has the latest details.
17-year-old Zion Foster disappeared in January. Her cousin says that she overdosed and he placed her body in a dumpster. That led police to search the landfill, digging for weeks through trash. The cousin was charged with lying to investigators as part of the investigation. Police are not saying if they found anything, only that the search has finally ended.
Police are expected to give more details on the results of the search next week. Clean energy businesses in Michigan added more than 6,300 new workers in 2021. The clean energy industry now employs more than 1 standards across the state. That's according to a new analysis of employment data released by the National Nonpartisan Business Group E2 and nonprofit Evergreen Climate Innovations. The report comes after Congress and the Biden administration passed the largest investment in climate and clean energy in history, which is set to boost clean energy jobs and businesses across the state. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered rain showers here for today with partial sunshine developing. Southwest winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, a slight chance for rain showers, cloudy and low near 38. Friday, partial sunshine develops, high 51 degrees. Then by Saturday, a slight chance for rain showers early on, partial sunshine and a high around 53. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 53 degrees. Then by Monday, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, high 47. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 47.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the questions that express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW for this Thursday morning. We're going to talk about your furry friends this morning a little bit. And we're going to do that with someone who is a member of the Great Lakes Bay Animal Society. And she is Nicole Meyer. Nicole, good morning to you. Nicole, are you there? There. Hello, Nicole.
Good morning, Art.
There you are. Yep, I can now. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I know there's an event coming up we're going to talk about called the Fast and the Furriest, which is an interesting name. But before we do that, tell us a little bit about the Great Lakes Bay Animal Society and what that's all about.
Yeah, wonderful. Animal Society is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization that rescues unwanted, abandoned, and neglected animals from the Tri-City area. We give them veterinary care. We place them in volunteer foster homes and ultimately get them adopted to good homes.
How old is this group? Has it been around a while?
It has. We're in our 10th year and always looking to expand the number of animals that we can help. Although we work closely with the local animal shelters in Bay, Saginaw, Midland County animal shelters, lately we've been getting a lot of calls of animals that need to be surrendered due to folks losing their home, not being able to afford their pet anymore, moving into assisted living, and the need is great. And we're just looking to assist with more and more animals every year.
Oh, I would say that's a much better solution than just putting the animal out on the street. So, I mean, that's a positive.
It is, and unfortunately, that still happens as well. We get calls about those animals as well, folks that are feeding them, that the cats or dogs are friendly, and they, really deserve to be back in a loving home and have a good life.
So tell us about this event coming up. It's Saturday, right?
It is, yes. It's this Saturday, the 15th, at Midland City Forest. It is called Fast and Furriest. It also is in its 10th year. It is our main fundraiser for the year for Great Lakes Bay Animal Society. Although we have a wonderful volunteer veterinarian, the veterinary costs are our highest costs for these animals. Oftentimes, we're not afraid to take on a tough case, but sometimes veterinary care for these animals, one animal can be, hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Tell me about it.
If not more.
We've got an 8-year-old Shih Tzu. He probably costs more than we do. So,
yes, you understand.
We understand. Yes, indeed.
Yes. So this fundraiser is a 5K race. It is a race for runners that is timed at 9 o'clock, and then a more casual race run walk race, if you will, at 9:15 for those that want to bring their dog and walk the race or run the race, as well as for casual runners and walkers who aren't as concerned about their race being timed.
So, since this is a fundraiser, I assume money must change hands at some point.
It does, yes. The registration for the race is $35. It includes they can register online at glbas.org. The sign up for the race. Actually, they can pick up packets Friday evening from 5 to 7 if they've registered in advance, or the day of the race at 8 a.m. We're thrilled that the community has really come out to support us in not only sponsors, but also vendors that will be there at the event, and also in the form of donations for raffles after the event. We, fingers crossed, the weather looks like it's going to be good for us on Saturday, and beautiful day. It'll be a lot of lovely fall color there on this beautiful course at Midland City Forest. And folks can come out and would be supporting us, a good local organization that tries to do good work in the community.
Nicole, is there a website where people can get more information on the organization?
Yes. So our organization is our website is glbas.org. That stands for Great Lakes Bay Animal Society. And also, if I could, Art, I wanted to just mention that if folks are looking, if they can't, looking for other ways to support Great Lakes Bay Animal Society and our mission, we're always looking for volunteers for folks that might be willing to foster animals in their home. We don't have a brick and mortar where we rely on folks to foster animals in their homes. And also another way to support is by selecting Great Lakes Bay Animal Society as the nonprofit for their Amazon Smile, their Kroger, or their Chewy accounts, so that a portion of their purchases can go to Great Lakes Bay Animal Society. It's kind of an easy way to support an organization.
And you have a board of directors?
We do. I am a board member. Yes. You can read about us on the board at our website at glbas.org.
So if someone goes on the website, is there a way for them to find what pets you may have?
Yes, there is. Adoptable pets section of our website. And we also put our pets on Pet Finder. So yes, and also often we have pets at the Pet Supplies Plus at the Saginaw location, so they could.
That's the store right near us, I think, right down on State Street.
Correct.
Yeah, that's our store. We go there often.
Yeah, know it well.
So do I. Well, let's remind everybody again, the event is this Saturday, Fast and Furious 5K. How much does it cost to register?
It's $35 a person, and that does include the T-shirt and the raffle and all the vendor goodies that will be there, including a goodie bag that they'll go home with.
And do they have to pre-register, or can they register the day of the event?
Register the day of the event. It always helps us if they register in advance, but we will welcome anyone who comes same day and wants to register and do the race same day. Everyone is welcome.
glbas.org is the site. Nicole, good luck with it.
Thank you, Art. Thank you for having us.
And good luck for finding a home for every pet you come in touch with.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Nicole Meyer from the Great Lakes Bay Animal Society. Thank you for joining us. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it's open phones from now right through 11:30 because no guest on Focus today. So we will just continue open phones. So something you want to chat about, 989-752 6111 is the number to call. And also we'll be hearing from Terry Henney this hour. He is up at Maple Hill Nursery. As a matter of fact, we'll hear from him at the end of this break. A 401k can be an important asset for many American retirements. You made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years, even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor of the state of Michigan.
Drive me nuts. It's like the rules just don't apply to them.
Uh-oh, what now?
It's that Kristen McDonald rivet.
Is she one of those politicians who just spends and spends, making inflation worse?
Yes, but it's even worse with rivet. She voted herself a pay raise on her taxpayer-funded salary.
Unbelievable.
And she was hiking her own pay while raising rates and fees for people like us.
We already can't pay our bills, and she's just making it worse. Only politicians like Kristen McDonald Rivet can get away with a scheme like that.
Worst part is, now she wants a promotion. She's running for state senate. Imagine what kind of damage she'd do if we send her to land.
Never vote for a politician like Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Higher prices for us, higher salary for her. Say no to Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Paid for with regulated funds by the Senate Republican Campaign Committee, authorized by Annette Glenn for state senate.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
A sell-off at the open on Wall Street, with the consumer price index showing inflation up 8.2% in the year ending in September. Core inflation, excluding food and energy, was up 6.6%. Slightly since topping 9% in June, but economists were expecting a bigger improvement last month. It is earnings season. Delta Airlines reported a mixed quarter, though it's predicting demand for travel will hold up through the holiday season. Domino's Pizza is holding up better than expected. Domino's quarter was mixed. U.S. sales were up. The company says it's delivering 1 out of every 3 pizzas in the U.S. And IKEA reported sales despite global supply chain disruptions and higher costs. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Booth for Bishop Gold Group. Federal Reserve recent announcements is putting the country on course for a deep recession. That means wild swings in the markets and high inflation will continue to put your retirement savings at risk. Protect the money you worked so hard to save for retirement by investing in Bishop Gold Group. Show you how tangible gold investments can help secure your future. Dial pound 250 from a mobile phone and say the keyword Bishop Gold or visit bishopgoldgroup.com.
Enjoy the best of Yacht Rock for the holidays. So ladies, the Little River Band. Let me take a look at you now. Same show, same night, Ambrosia. Saturday, December 17th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Tickets start at $32. Box office or etix.com. Party and play with Little River Band and Ambrosia. You're the biggest part of details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Michigan football is on WSGW.
Rolling to his right, fires, he's got a man. It's Cornelius Johnson into the 5, touchdown Michigan. Here comes the rush, and they got him. Yabi Oki. Back to pass, here comes a heavy rush, and he's sacked. Junior Colson. McCarthy fires, Cornelius Johnson into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines.
The Michigan Wolverines improved to 6-0 after a solid road win at Indiana. But next up is Michigan's biggest test yet as the 5th-ranked Wolverines host number 10 Penn State at the Big House this Saturday. Coverage begins at 11 a.m. on 790 News Radio. WSGW. Kickoff is at noon. Michigan football is brought to you by Lingle Equipment Company, Schaefer and Beerline, Ram Truck and Frankenmuth, Zimomatic Irrigation Solutions, North Bloomfield Properties, and Wolf Isles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. It's number 5 Michigan versus number 10 Penn State, live Saturday morning on Radio WSGW.
Your home for Michigan Wolverines football is WSGW.
Hey everyone, Terry Henney. Today I'm broadcasting from Midland, Maple Hill Nursery. Sunny days, wet days, rainy nights, cool weather, perfect for planting conditions. And that's why Maple Hill Nursery in Midland is having a sale. It's the fall clearance sale going on right now at Maple Hill. 50% off on all remaining trees, shrubs, and perennials. And of course, they're noted for their furniture, for their decorations outside. 50% off on alfresco home outdoor furniture, including discontinued styles and one of kinds. 50% off in-stock pottery, and bagged mulch is now 20%. So you got to check it out. Again, as I said, this sale ends the end of October, so now's the ideal time to stop by. They're open from 8 to 5:30 today, 8 until 4. Like them on Facebook or check them out at maplehillmidland.com. More reports coming up.
It's time to play the WSGW Football Bucks Blitz contest presented by Ben and RoofMax. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $2,000 by entering this football word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is coach, C-O-A-C-H. The team has a good coach. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. The Football Bucks Blitz contest presented by Ben and RoofMax on WSGW. All right, welcome back. It's open phones, as I mentioned, and our number 989-752-6111. That's how you get in touch with us and chat about whatever's on your mind this morning. I want to start with a couple of things that I've pulled down to talk about this morning. The first one, Alex Jones. He is the very controversial talk show host, conspiracy theorist. He has been ordered to pay almost $1 billion, $965 million, to the victims of Sandy Hook, the parents of the students, and also one FBI agent for his claiming that Sandy Hook was a staged event and that all the parents were actors and things of that nature. Now, a lot of Jones supporters are yelling, free speech, free speech. Jones has said, this is the scary left at work. Folks, this has nothing to do with left and right. This has to do with right and wrong, actually. As I have said many, 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 many times, and no one has ever been able to refute it, the right to free speech is guaranteed in the Constitution under the First Amendment. However, nowhere in that amendment does it say that that free speech is without consequence. Yes, you are free to say whatever you like. But if it goes against the law, if it verbally injures someone who does not deserve to be injured, if it causes a panic in the theater, for example, there are consequences. Jones, in spouting off about Sandy Hook, injured emotionally a lot of people. He can yell it's from the left all he wants. He can yell free speech all he wants. Fact is, he's now found out about consequence. Whether you like him or you don't like him is not the point. The point is people were injured emotionally by his comments, which were false, and he now has to pay a price. Now, let's be realistic. He's not going to come up with $965 million. He's not going to pay anything. He'll go bankrupt. His company, InfoWars, I think already did file for bankruptcy. And, I mean, if these things are allowed to stand, then there will be an appeal. His lawyer already said they're going to appeal. Maybe they'll get knocked down a little bit. Maybe they won't. But, you know, it's a moral victory for the residents of Sandy Hook, the parents who've lost children. It's a moral victory. Probably not a financial victory because undoubtedly he isn't going to pay anything. He's going to go bankrupt and be protected from it. But he'll lose his company, which is estimated to be worth about $270 million. So maybe they will get something out of it. Who knows? But, and personally, I mean, he's not a guy I admire. I have to tell you that right off the top. I'm not into his brand of broadcasting. Let's put it that way. And so I have no sympathy. I live every day of my life with the First Amendment. It's what I do. But I respect it. And I understand its limitations. And every now and then you have to have these tests to demonstrate that. All right, John is in Saginaw, so let's say good morning to John.
Yes, good morning, Arthur.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. I have something this morning that I think people should be made aware of. There was a one-line news item on KDKA.
Pittsburgh.
That's right, the country's first radio station.
Yep.
Was reported at 5 in the morning when their signal is quite strong as a one-liner. And that was that Westinghouse Electric Corporation is going to be sold to the Canadians. A company I believe is called Camco, and Brookfield Asset Corp. Really, Brookfield Properties. They're builders of shopping malls and apartment complexes and so on. The important part about this total sale is that the United States would lose control of the assets of Westinghouse Electric. And that is of strategic importance, especially these days, because the United States government and Westinghouse Electric spent billions of dollars scale nuclear reactors, which would be used for district grids rather than the large areas served by today's nuclear power plants. We would have smaller power plants that are nuclear. They would have less fissionable material with them. And
which I am, by the way, a huge supporter of.
Yes, any good thinking person should be. If we're going to have all of these electric vehicles and so on and so forth, we certainly aren't going to be able to provide the power from wind and solar. That's a pipe dream. So we have to have something. It's been reported there will be more pumped storage projects.
Right.
But certainly nuclear is going to have to bear the heaviest load. And if we lose the control of the deal is reportedly is going to close in November sometime. They've been very smart to pick our pocket. They're doing it. Here's an administration that is promoting electric usage, but is not defending a strategic asset of the United States that we can produce it. And quite frankly, if I was a Chinese spy, the first thing I would do as soon as the Canadians get control of it is license the design for these small reactors. Should be the news media, instead of reporting about high school kids who can't pass any of their ACT tests and so on and so forth. We should be reporting on the real news that's going to affect us all. And it's very disappointing that this has been a story that's just buried.
Well, here's
for the future.
Here is the other part of that, though. We haven't owned Westinghouse. Westinghouse was acquired from Toshiba by Brookfield Business Partners. Westinghouse has been owned out of this country for a while now. Cameco will own 49%. Brookfield Renewable and its institutional partners will own the rest. The part that, the good news, bad news here. The good news is it's Canada and they're friendly. The bad news is it's Canada and who knows who has influence.
There you go.
And so, it is something to watch. No two ways about it. But just so we all understand, Westinghouse hasn't been ours for a while.
Well, we screwed up already once. Now we're screwing up twice.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent.
The government has a talent. That
they do indeed. They're very good at it. I mean, it's one of the things they do very well.
Well, your generation and my generation, Arthur, did a lot to advance this country's stability. And now we have a situation where we're being taken apart a piece at a time.
Yeah, well,
and I don't think it's good.
I think the other hand, though, John, is I think we're beginning to learn the lessons. Yeah, we get these things that come along every now and then. Of course, it wasn't ours to start with right now. But I think this COVID taught us some lessons about being dependent on the rest of the world. Auto chips, things of that nature, component drug products. I think we've learned a lot, and I think we're going to see a resurgence of American manufacturing. At least I'm hoping.
We need it, and the best social program in the world is a good manufacturing life.
Absolutely, because you can't just rely on a service economy. All right, John, I'm late. I got to take a break, but thanks for bringing it up.
You again, Arthur.
Same here.
Arthur,
Yep.
By the way, the dog in the fifth kennel down says he needs more water.
I got my own to worry about. Thank you. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, lines open for you. Let me ask how your sleep was last night. Today we're asked to do more for less, so when you go to bed, you spend a third of your life there. You need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make it for you. Box stores can't do that. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 989-753-1757.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County Road Commissioner. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know county have always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. I'm a proud union member, business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do a job. Vote Hilliker. Paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. Getting the entire troop to agree on a place to get some grub can be a real pain in the axe. Now don't go yet, because the Lumberjack Restaurant has something for everyone to enjoy. Steaks, ribs, taters, mac and cheese, home-style grub that'll knock 1 or 2 notches off your belt just by looking at it. So get your axe up to the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch, exit 212, I-75, where hunger goes to die.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card. And most of us just accept the hard charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR, but with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.73% APR with auto pay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 5.73% APR to 19.99% APR and include a 0.5% auto pay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com. Information.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letter. Actions and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get for tax help you need, for tax help you can trust. Call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery Center Studios of WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and back to our phones. Russ is in Bay City. Russ, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I can't actually believe heard in the news this morning. I mean, you want to talk about being in bizarro world.
What is it?
A city council person trespasses on a taxpayer's property. The taxpayer asks the city council person to leave their property.
Yeah.
It infuriates the city council person who breaks and enters in the taxpayer's home, whereby the taxpayer is arrested for defending himself, his family, and his property.
Yeah, I heard that, and I guess I want to know more about it. It
don't
does.
Want to hear their BS.
It does. You don't want to hear more about it, then. So you don't care about right and wrong?
No, I do care about right.
Good.
And
so
wrong.
we don't know who's right and wrong right now.
Fantasy and narratives that are full of BS.
And how do you know which ones are BS? How do you know which ones are BS?
Listen to the news report.
Okay. All I'm saying is, don't rush to judgment. Get all the facts. I don't know all the facts.
Okay. Well, yeah, and I have no doubt. I mean, I understand how these people work, and I'm sure they'll come up with a beautiful narrative for this. But if you
So you're prejudging, in other words.
If you look at the news report itself, he broke and entered into this person's home. Don't they have the right to self-defense?
I would think so.
anymore?
Yeah, on the surface, I would think so. Absolutely. I would absolutely think so. That's why I say I want to know more about it. I am curious about it. And if, I want all the details.
Yeah, and I want to go back to 1960 America, where we were a free nation.
Good luck.
So,
Well, I'm not sure about 60s, 50s maybe. 60s, I think we were beginning to move away.
oh no, we were still pretty free in this. It wasn't until, I don't know, probably late 80s, early 90s. Well, you know when it really changed was in when George W. Bush signed the Patriot Act.
No, it was going down before that.
This nation.
We were losing things before that.
Well, yeah, we were on the way, but that was a huge turning point.
Wow.
As far as I'm concerned, two biggest turning points in this country's direction was 1979, Jimmy Carter nationalizing our public schools, and George W. Bush and the Patriot Act.
Okay. They were big events, no doubt about that.
All righty.
All right, Russ,
You have
take
a
care.
good one.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
And that opens the lines, the 989-752-6111. Here we are on a Thursday, almost the middle of October already. It is just flying. Wow. Unbelievable. Anyway, we'll pause and then we will return.
I have where we had somebody who passed away. Their family was in cleaning out their room. This family member just, embraces me with this huge hug and is like, thank you so much for taking care of our mom. We felt good leaving her here every night, knowing that she was cared for. To know that people trust you with their loved ones, I think is a huge deal. When you get to know family members on a deeper level, you can make that trust even greater.
For more information, visit wellspringlutheran.com.
It all started some 37 years ago, and the tradition continues. Johnson's Pumpkin Farm on North Portsmouth Road is ready for all ages, whether it's your first picture with a pumpkin, a chance to feed a farm animal, or 100th donut you're about to eat. A day at Johnson's Pumpkin Farm is perfect fall family fun. Take the challenge with the 13-acre corn maze, or the little ones can tackle the soybean maze or sunflower maze and catch the barrel train ride. The huge craft store is open with more vendors than ever. Mums, pumpkins, gourds, corn stalks, straw, and other fall decorations. And of course, fresh donuts, fresh daily, cinnamon and sugar, plain or frosted, and special flavors on Fridays. And there's no admission charge and free parking. Great photo opportunities all around the farm with the kids' favorite straw cartoon characters. Check out all the special events and rides every week by going to johnsonspumpkins.com or like them on Facebook. Located at 4715 North Portsmouth Road, 3 miles east of I-Exit. Open until Halloween. And did we say donuts?
Who's backing Kim Coonan's bid for Michigan State House? Out-of-state radical groups that want to force their extremist policies on Michigan, including defunding our police. Don't let Kim Coonan bring their radical policies here to destroy Michigan communities and endanger your family. Kim Coonan doesn't stand with us. Coonan backs his out-of-state radical friends. But Timmy Beeson believes in representing Bay County and will always fight for us because Bay County is Beeson's home. That's why Beeson delivered life-saving benefits for people and businesses during the COVID pandemic, and why Beeson is now costs and stop the out-of-control inflation that's strangling our economy by reducing auto insurance costs and cutting taxes for families so Michiganders can keep more of what they earn. A hometown fighter working for our community in the State House. Timmy Beeson for State Representative.
Paid for with regulated funds by House Republican Campaign Committee authorized by Timmy Beeson.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment. Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Science proves your best sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. And it's temperature balancing, so you stay cool. So you're at your best for yourself and those you care about most. Life-changing sleep, only from Sleep Number. And now the Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 smart bed is only $9.99, plus special financing, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
If you came across hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Morning, we are in Midland. We're on Eastman Road in Midland. The reason why we're here is because Maple Hill Nursery has decided they're going to have a fall sale. They're going to have the opportunity right now to get rid of a lot of alfresco home outdoor furniture, including discontinued styles and one-of-a-kinds, in-stock pottery, things like that, all right now 50% off. And you get 50% off on all remaining trees, shrubs, and perennials. It's the ideal time to plant right now with these cool nights and sunny fall days. You have the opportunity to catch some of these trees as they go into dormancy, so you can put them in before spring, and then they'll be off and running with plenty of growth on them. But you better hurry in. Sale ends October the 31st at Maple Hill Nursery. We're located about 1.5 miles north of the Midland Mall, next to D&W Auto. Fall hours, 8 to 5:30. Today, Saturday, is 8 until 4. Check them out on Facebook or go to maplehillmidland.com for more information. More coming up next hour.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and we have open phones for you. We're going to have that right through 11:30 this morning, and we'd love to chat with you about what is on your mind. It is just as an observer. This is just an observation, not looking at it through political eyes or any other eyes. It's not looking good for Donald Trump right now. If I were a betting man and you asked me what's the chances of some kind of indictment against the former president, I'd probably say 60-40, more than half. Because every time you turn around, there's another story about he did this or he did that. This comes from a former Trump employee who talked to federal agents about the moving of boxes and documents at Mar-a-Lago, and that apparently it was under the direction, so he says, of the president. And apparently there's footage. It just continues to pile on. I have to be honest, I'm very torn on this. I think at its foundation, nobody is above the law. If you break the law, there are consequences, president or no president. However, the other side of that coin is that it's probably going to be far more difficult to indict and convict a president than the average citizen. That's just reality. And there is so much politics involved that it's hard to separate the politics from the reality. I think that that this is going to be something that historians are going to look back on and analyze till they're blue in the face. I really do. I think years and years from now, historians will be looking at it. They'll be teaching it. Just you shake your head sometimes. Susan is in Bay City, so let's say hello to Susan.
Hello, Art. How are you doing this morning?
Great.
You know, we just keep more and more of our freedom. We were on the path to communism, and people just don't seem to understand it. They think the Democratic Party is still the good old Democrats for the unions and whatever. It's not. It's just a ruin of our nation. But that's not why I called this morning. I actually listened to, besides your show and a lot of other broadcasts and podcasts, I listened to Ave Maria Radio, and they were going through the new abortion amendment that is coming out for us to vote on.
Right.
And I guess I feel one way or the other. I like you said, to get the facts. And the thing that got me is it's a change to our Constitution. And they could just do this with a law. But this amendment actually 40 different changes into our Constitution.
Yep.
They read it by line. They've been reading it byline by byline. It has so many hidden agendas. And one of the things that is hidden in there that people should know of, you give up parental consent and rights to your child at the age of 12. That if a child goes to their school counselor or wants to get an abortion or wants to have transgender surgery, anything like that that they want to do, it's up to the child at the age of 12. The parental actually gives up rights.
Yeah, I've said a number of times when it comes to this piece of this amendment that we have to vote on. I've said a number of times that the devil is in the details, and we haven't all seen the details.
Yes, and they also keep saying, well, this is for women's rights, but it's not.
No, it's beyond that.
They're also saying that the abortion clinics that they want to open throughout the nation, nothing has to be performed by any person with actually any medical benefit.
Yep.
They're also unregulated. Totally unregulated. How can something like that be for?
Well, we're not talking around the nation though. We're talking about Michigan. This is a Michigan constitutional law.
Yes, but,
has nothing to do with any other state.
But it's in the Constitution, so
Michigan.
Yes, but when you start. Okay, right now Michigan can basically do what they want to do anyway. They have if the Roe versus Wade is overturned and they're making these different laws and they're leaving it up to the states. Why do they have to change the Constitution if that's not a totally hidden agenda?
Well, but wait. You keep saying the Constitution. Now, we're not talking about the Michigan Constitution.
Yes.
Well, they do that.
Wait, doesn't that kind of matter?
Well, it matters, but it's not the national Constitution. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. The reason is that when they put forth a proposal, like this, for them, those that supported it and wrote it, want to change the Constitution so that the legislature can't go back in and correct it. I don't favor that.
No. I'm with you, and we're both on the same page.
No, we're on the same page on this one. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I can't see this parental right at the age of 12. That flipped me out. I mean, my children are all grown. My grandchildren are all grown, but I don't think that people understand what they're voting for when they vote for these one-liners that have, 100,000 pages.
Some people don't. Other people fully understand it, and that's what they want. That's the problem. I think that I think it's incumbent upon every voter to get all the facts they possibly can before they vote. And
it's just a terrible strike on morality. Once again,
Susan,
down our family.
I got to interrupt because I'm out of time, but thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye now. We will take a break, come back, and again, we're going to carry open phones through the next half hour, so stay with us.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. That value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
All right. That's going to wrap up this hour of the Art Lewis Show. But as I've said, we will continue with open phones through Focus because we don't have a guest today. So that will come along right after the news, which is next here on WSGW from CBS, and the local report with Michael Percha. And then we will be back right after that.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Steve Kathan, just in from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. A jury verdict on punishment for the Parkland school shooter, Nicholas Cruz, being read in court by the judge.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the aggravating factors are sufficient. Possible sentence of death, yes.
A final decision on that will be made by Judge Elizabeth Shearer. Cruz shot and killed 17 students and staffers in 2018 at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. President Biden says again today, fighting inflation is his top priority and there's more work to do. Consumers know the problems all too well.
Everything's going through the roof. Rents are up. Food costs up. Gas is up.
Today, the government reported a rise in consumer prices last month, or 8.2% higher than 1 year ago. Business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
It's this shelter component that's causing a lot of the problems, both shelter and food. And right now, if you look thinks inflation is going, I think they had expected that this would be a tough report, maybe one more really bad month. But once we get beyond the end of this year, we should start to see that core rate of inflation come down.
In a reflection of inflation, Social Security benefits will be boosted next year by 8.7%. In a couple of hours, the House committee investigating the Capitol attack holds what's expected to be its final public hearing. And CBS's Scott McFarland tells us there's new evidence the Justice Department is weighing about the top secret documents found at former President Trump's Florida home.
One individual familiar with the investigation tells CBS News investigators have works at Mar-a-Lago and says the former president directed him or her to move boxes containing documents after Trump advisors received a subpoena in May. The handling of the boxes and the documents were part of the FBI's reasoning to get a warrant.
In Bristol, Connecticut, 2 police officers were shot and killed and a third seriously injured when they responded to a domestic violence call. Police Chief Brian Gould.
They answered a call to duty and they responded without hesitation. And that's what they did every night before that. And that's what all our officers do and will continue to do.
The suspected shooter was fatally shot. Doctors say they're seeing an increased number of cases of the respiratory illness known as RSV. Dr. Celine Gounder says it can be trouble for young children.
It causes a runny, stuffy nose, a cough, sore throat. But when it gets into the lower airway, so the bronchi, the lungs, in little kids that causes bronchiolitis, pneumonia, that can be a lot more dangerous.
Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 81 points. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner, you can save a ton of money on a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 888-74-STEEL and get a quote today.
Do you have Medicare questions? Confused by all those TV ads? There are options available to you now through December 7th that you didn't have before. We'll have your questions answered by attending a free Medicare seminar at the Freeland Sports Zone on Wednesday, October 12th or October 26th. Starting time is 11 a.m. with free refreshments. Reserve your space. Call 989-899-7820 today. Medicare Choices of Saginaw. Again, 989-899-7820. It'll be the best call you ever made.
Christopher Cross. Friday, October 28th at Soaring Eagle Casino. Same show, same night. John Wayne. Tickets start at $34. On sale now. The Soaring Eagle box office or etix.com. The 40th anniversary tour. Christopher Cross with John Wayne. Friday, October 28th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See details.
Hi, I'm Lisa Booth for Bishop Gold Group. Federal Reserve recent announcements is putting the country on course for a deep recession. That means wild swings in the markets and high inflation will continue to put your retirement savings at risk. Protect the money you worked so hard to save for retirement by investing in gold. Let Bishop Gold Group show you how tangible gold investments can help secure your future. Dial pound 250 from a mobile phone and say the keyword Bishop Gold, or visit bishopgoldgroup.com.
Live from the 190 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Mostly cloudy skies and 50 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A Gladwin County woman is looking to be the first state senator in the newly drawn 34th District of Michigan. Becky Mcdonald is running as a member of the U.S. Taxpayer Party of Michigan. Coming from a family of farmers, McDonald says she's not happy with what she calls overregulation of small farms.
These farmers are being regulated into poverty and some of them right out of business, to be quite frank. And it's difficult because this should be one of the base things that we can rely upon in order to support.
McDonald says while she does understand the need for certain regulations to keep people safe, she also feels in many ways there can be workarounds to those issues which don't require more legislation. Mott Community College is hosting a series of both virtual and on-site hiring events in October and November to fill open positions at the college. Positions include faculty, part-time faculty, and staff positions. The hiring event dates are October 27th for part-time faculty positions only, October 29th, and November 1st. Please visit the Mott Community College website to pre-register for those dates. Mount Pleasant Police Director of Public Safety, Paul Loria, recently announced personnel changes within the police department. Effective November 4th, Assistant Police Chief Andy Latham will retire after 26 years of service to the department. Lieutenant Brandon Bliss has been promoted to Assistant Police Chief and will assume his new duties. During his tenure with the department, Latham progressed through the ranks of officer, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and assistant police chief. His immediate retirement plans, including assuming the role of Dean of Students and athletic director for Sacred Heart Academy in Mount Pleasant. Bliss has more than 17 years of law enforcement experience, with 14 of those years at the Mount Pleasant Police Department. He has served as lieutenant, sergeant, youth services unit officers, and held many other roles. And he also has union leadership roles with the Police Officers Association of Michigan and the Command Officers Association of Michigan. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Christmas. It's the most wonderful place to shop for Christmas is Bronner's. How would you like to join the team and work at Bronner's this holiday season? Hi, this is Bob Spletzer from Bronner's Christmas Wonderland in Frankenmuth. Not everyone can be Santa Claus, but he always needs lots of helpers. That's why we're currently hiring happy, friendly people that would love the opportunity to make extra cash for the holidays. Bronner's will provide you with a set monthly schedule, your uniform, and time and a half wages on Saturday evenings and all day on Sundays. You could be greeting customers, ringing up orders, personalizing ornaments, assembling gift boxes, and more. Bronner's will give you a generous employee discount for your merry little Christmas, too.
To join the Bronner's team, simply Bronner's.com/jobs and fill out an online application. That's Bronner's.com/jobs. Bronner's, making spirits bright since 1945.
Merry Christmas.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. An equity fund CEO, formerly from Metro Detroit, has been charged in connection with a scheme that defrauded investors of more than $27 million. 30-year-old Andrew Middlebrooks, who now lives in Texas, was charged with one count of wire fraud and a criminal information. While in charge of a Dallas-based investment firm, Middlebrooks allegedly lied to his clients, claiming their portfolio when they were actually suffering catastrophic losses. Middlebrooks faces 20 years in prison if convicted. The U.S. real estate market continues to slow. Rising costs are causing issues for both buyers and sellers. Sales are down about 16% from last year, and prices have continued to rise up over 4%. The good news is that buyers have more to choose from as the inventory is rising. Here's Karen Cage, CEO of RealComp.
Rising consumer costs and interest rate hikes are causing issues for both buyers and sellers. But Jeff Glover, realtor with Keller Williams Realty, says it's not all doom and gloom, especially if you're looking to...
Sellers, this is your time. You want to get it on the market and get your equity out. If you're thinking in the next 12 months or 18 months you're going to be making a move, I would not wait if you're concerned about the equity you have in your home.
As for potential home buyers, well, you are going to have more choices. I'm Brooke Allen for the Michigan News Network.
For the first time in days, there's good news at the gas pump. The average price of a gallon of gas has dropped 16 cents compared to this time last week, now sitting at $4.15 for regular gas. The price also declined 5 cents overnight. Despite the decrease, today's average price is still 23 cents higher than this time a month ago. WSGW News Time, 11.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered rain showers here for today with partial sunshine developing, a high in the mid-50s. Southwest winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, a slight chance for rain showers, cloudy and low near 38. Friday, partial sunshine develops, high 51 degrees. Then by Saturday, a slight chance for rain showers early on, partial sunshine and a high around 53. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 53 degrees. Then by Monday, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, high 47. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 49.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities. Into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. And we want to remind you that we have no guest today on Focus. So instead, we will be having open phones for the remainder of the hour, half hour actually. Focus, of course, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com, getroofmax.com, or call Ben at 989-859-6751, RoofMax, and it's spelled with 2 X's. And our number is 989-752-6111 to be in touch with us. Something you want to chat about, we'd love to hear from you. Good news, bad news for Social Security recipients today. It was announced that Social Security benefits are going up by 8.7%, the biggest raise since the 40s. And I say good news, bad news, and here's why. Good news because benefits are going to go up 8.7%. Bad news is all that increase is going to be eaten up in the store where inflation continues to rise. The other bad news is that it puts additional stress on an already stressed system. It is time for Congress and the administration, both sides, to sit down and find a solution to Social Security and Medicare that is long-term sustaining, and not kick the can down the road as they've done time after time after time after time. Eventually, it's going to catch up with them, and that's going to hurt everybody. Now, I do believe whatever solutions they come up with for Social Security will not affect current, hear me now, current recipients. We're too big a voting bloc. But it will affect future recipients. It will have adjustments to the future, whether it's at what age you can start claiming it, which to me makes sense because the actuarial tables have gone way out of whack compared to what Social Security was founded on. Whether it's the amount of benefits, who knows? But something needs to be done. Something is better than nothing. To the phones, Errol is with us this morning. How's our buddy Errol doing?
You know what? In the last 2 days, I've thought about the movie Gladiator. Our former president thought he was an emperor, just like in Gladiator. And so his up-and-comings are going to get him because he thought he would be emperor, he wouldn't have to answer to anyone.
Yeah.
More turmoil in this country than anyone. Period. I don't care whether people like what I say or not, but that's how I feel about from the day he got in.
Yeah, well, you got a right to feel that way. And
Yeah,
he's
I
not
mean,
an emperor. He's not a king. He does have to
he
answer to the
forgot that
people.
he is. Where do you
Well,
think he learned this from? His father.
well, anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right, good enough.
Go have a good weekend with your new camera, sir.
No, it's not new. It's an old one. All right. Take care.
Time for a new one. Talk to you. Bye.
Bye. And let's talk to Al in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur. Hey, not to upset Errol too much, but I happen to think the current president is worse than the last one. So he's above the law apparently, and hasn't paid a price for all the funny business.
Well, that may
And
catch up with him
everybody-
eventually.
Yeah. The thing is, this was happening while Obama was in the White House. He was doing all this funny business. So it's a long time coming. Hey, I don't know if you got the email I sent
I did.
to you on the national debt.
Yep.
It went by the presidential things. I noticed on that email that Trump's name isn't on there. Obama's name is on there, but Trump's name isn't. And I go by, that's an independent outfit that has no bias to it because they look at both sides equally. The source I'm using, have call in and say that Trump is doing this and that, and there's biases in the information they're getting because they're not getting an independent source where I'm getting my information. So,
where do you say that Trump's name isn't in there? I'm reading it right in front of me, and it says President Donald Trump took office.
Right.
He submitted his first budget.
When it lists them in the 5 or the 4 or 5 that caused the most damage to the national debt.
Oh, yeah, that Franklin Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Barack Obama.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, when you look at that, you have to take the first year off the president.
Yeah, because they inherited it.
Because that was the previous president's budget.
Yeah, but then you have to take their last year and
Right.
assign it
And
to
put it
them.
back in.
You got it.
So it's something to do with Congress and their budget techniques. So we aren't going to find out how bad Biden is until Biden's out of office.
Yeah, and that's typical.
And the last year of his budget is still going to overlap into the next president. So,
right. Well, that's what happens with every president.
So I'm looking at this, the national debt on there. It's pretty bad.
31 trillion.
I still look at that, and when I pull the numbers down and do the spreadsheet on them, Trump doesn't come out that bad. The paltry amount that he spent when you take out Biden or the last part of Obama's budget.
As long as you put it in the first part of Biden's.
Right. And Trump was cutting spending as fast as he could.
He still spent deficit money.
He
had
spent
deficit
because
money.
He was,
But that's
he was
the
spending
excuse
to
they
protect
all
the-
use.
Right, but he was spending money to help the COVID relief.
Yeah.
And you had to do that. Yeah. You had no choice
All right.
in that. The thing is, though, Biden doesn't have to do that because the money is already spent, and all the carts and all the things are
Right.
in position already.
Okay. I got to interrupt
They
for
were
time,
paid-
Al, but I got to interrupt for time here. But
They were paid
we
before,
got it. All right.
before Biden got in there.
We got it. All right. We'll talk to you down the road. I got to run here for time. Thanks for being with us, and we will take a break. We come back. We'll hear from Terry Henney up in Midland.
From Kansas to Ohio, that's where you'll find Pivot Bio. From the Mississippi Delta to Chesapeake, Nebraska and the hills of Tennessee, proving on thousands of fields across this great land. When you work the ground till the sun goes down, Pivot Bio's got a plan. Greener plants and a healthy land. and use our predictable nitrogen. Wherever farmers grow, yeah, that's where we go.
A ProBox has enough seed to plant 125 acres of corn. Now, if you wanted to put 40 pounds of nitrogen on those acres, you'd need 1,200 gallons of anhydrous, or 1,700 gallons of UAN, or 5 tons of urea. But what if that amount of nitrogen was already... Pivot Bio is now putting nitrogen on seed. The first company to ever apply nitrogen on seed. The nitrogen you need now on seed from Pivot Bio. Learn more at pivotbio.com.
Some politicians drive me nuts. It's like the rules just don't apply to them.
Uh-oh, what now?
It's that Kristen McDonald rivet.
Is she one of those politicians who just spends and spends, making inflation worse?
Yes, but it's even worse with rivet. She voted herself a pay raise on her taxpayer-funded salary.
Unbelievable.
And she was hiking her own pay while raising rates and fees for people like us.
We already can't pay our bills, and she's just making it worse. Only politicians like Kristen McDonald Rivet can get away with a scheme like that.
The worst part is, now she wants a promotion. She's running for state senate. Imagine what kind of damage she'd do if we send her to Lansing.
I'd never vote for a politician like Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Higher prices for us, higher... Say no to Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Paid for with regulated funds by the Senate Republican Campaign Committee, authorized by Annette Glenn for state senate.
Had your family's eyes checked lately? Most insurances end at the end of the year, so if you don't use it, you lose it. Now's the time to get that annual exam you've been putting off. Having school-aged children's eyes checked can help treat possible issues with schoolwork and prevent other eye-related diseases. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kazmarek, or Dr. Engel at their Saginaw or Hemlock locations, call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
Listen to anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Morning, we've been broadcasting from Maple Hill Nursery in Midland because it is fall sale going on right now at Maple Hill Nursery. 50% off on all remaining trees, shrubs, and perennials, and they've got a great selection of those. Also, they're famous for their outdoor furniture. It's been probably one of the premier places in the Great Lakes Bay Area to shop for outdoor furniture, and they've been delivering outdoor furniture across the state. That's how popular they are. And right now, you get 50% off on select alfresco home outdoor furnishings, including discontinued styles and one-of-a-kinds. They've got 50% off on all in-stock pottery. And if you still want to do a little work around the front yard or the backyard and you need some mulch, bagged mulch now is 20% off. But remember, best selection, once it's gone, and the sale does end October the 31st. Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, 1.5 miles north of Midland, the Midland Mall on Eastman Road, next to D&W Auto. More coming up during the farm program.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Hi, this is Jessica. If you're looking for a high-yield checking account, it's time to open a cash reward checking at United Financial Credit Union. We'll reward you with 5% APY and reimburse your ATM fees. It's easy to get started and easy to earn rewards just by doing your normal banking activities each month. Contact us today to get started.
United Financial Credit Union.
Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to open an account. It's time for you to check out your local friendly credit union and see how we will put you first. Visit our website or give us a call to learn more today.
Some restrictions may apply. See credit union for details. Must meet eligibility requirements. Federally insured by NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Finance Union. Serving the valley community.
All right, let's go back to our phones. Mark is in Midland. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Good.
some Democrats like to do victory laps when there's accomplishments out there. In Saginaw, they had to defund the police. So I'm looking to see when Whitmer is going to come to Saginaw and announce that the defunding of the police is in full swing because they're ranked 4th in the nation, Saginaw. Do you know if she's going to have a campaign rally there?
No, and I don't think anybody's trying to defund the police in Saginaw, not that I heard of.
Isn't that something? And then also with the Line 5 trying to shut that down with energy, I think that would be good for her to put in her rally.
Yeah, well, she would put that one in. She really wants to do that. So
but they kept New York. They did keep New York and California out of that crimes list. I don't know.
Funny thing about that. Yeah, funny thing about that. All right.
All right.
Good enough. Thanks.
Very good, sir.
And Sean in Bay City going to be our last caller. Sean, good morning. Morning, Sean.
Good morning. Yep. Good morning, Art. How are you?
Good.
Hey, just need to bring up a question here, right? Because it's a train of thought question. If babies aren't human beings up until they're born, right? The question I have to ask those who support that are, if someone gets in a car accident and they were drunk driving and the baby, well, the not baby, I don't know what it is, dies in the womb, they don't get charged with anything, right? Or if they maybe there was a little violence and they beat the baby in the womb.
I don't know.
Charged with
That's
anything, right?
I don't know
has to
that.
be a question that's asked.
Yeah, I don't know that. I think there are times when they have been, but I'm not positive. But it's a viable question. It's absolutely a viable
It's a
question.
totally legit question because that's not a human being according to
Well,
these people.
according to them, yeah. Well, I think I'd have to look, and I'm going to have to look, but I think there have been cases. I don't know what the charges were, but I'd have to take a look. It's something in the back of my mind rings a bell.
My point is this, Art. Nobody can be charged if you have abortion laws that allow.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Nobody can be charged.
Yep. Well,
They're in prison right now.
I don't favor that kind of.
Right?
I don't favor that kind of stuff. So you and I are on the same page here.
Well, right, but I mean, has anybody asked that question? I mean, that's a huge question.
I'm sure it has been, but I don't know what the answer is. It's an interesting one, though.
I have to reiterate what these unreasonable people are for. They're unreasonable.
Yeah.
They're for partial birth abortion. They're for killing babies whenever you want. That's what that's for.
Well, listen, you and I both know that on the pro-life side, it's passion. And I got news for you. As much as I hate to say it, it's just as passionate for them. We may think they're skewed in their passion, but the fact is, it is. And I would say this to anybody who's going to go to the polls and vote on the abortion issue, you better read the whole thing and know what you're getting into. That would be my piece of advice.
What I wish they would do is just be honest.
Yeah.
If that's their cause, then stand up.
Yep.
Take charge.
All right.
And say that we like killing babies. That's what we like to do. We think you should be able to kill them whenever
they
want.
don't view it that way. You do, I do, but they don't view it that way. So we're going to go around. We can talk about this forever and say the same thing over and over again. It isn't going to change anything.
Right?
Well, we can say it from now.
Our lies.
We can say it from now till we're blue in the face. It isn't going to change anything. So all I suggest is
just stop and think.
I know what you hope for, but saying it isn't going to do it. We can say it again and again and again. Doesn't change anything.
People are they
all right?
People?
I have.
Or are they not so smart people?
Well, it depends on
And
how
why
they
do we
view
let
it and
not
how you
smart
view it.
people decide for us.
All right.
Well, no, it's
good
not
enough.
If somebody's smart, we can call them smart, right? And that's
All
okay.
right.
But if somebody's stupid, we can't call them stupid.
Well, it's because stupid is a judgment.
Well, no, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
You know,
Stupid is a judgment. Some people have a different view. That doesn't make them stupid.
No,
listen, Sean, we're going to go
and
round and round.
am I smart?
We're going to go round and round. It isn't going to change anything. And I've got to go because I'm out of time, but it's always good talking to you. All right, we're going to take our last break here and say goodbye for the day. Krishak's House Family Restaurant is proud to be a business that serves this area with the finest in dining and takeout services. Grateful for all of you who have supported them. They look forward to serving all of you once again soon. Every day is takeout day at Krishak's. Today from 11 to 7, Friday and Saturday from 11 to 8. Krishak's House Family Restaurant, corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. For takeouts, reservations, parties, events, call 894-5531. 989-894-5531.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you